It is Monday, September 6th. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is presented by Jet Home Loans. And now, a guy who believes if it's called Labor Day, you should be laboring, J.P. Shadrick.
And here we are on Labor Day, and happy Labor Day to you. Glad you're along with us on this Monday afternoon. My name's J.P. Shadrick. That was Joe Fortunato. Tony Boselli and Pete Prisco coming up. We have a busy show ahead today. Week 1 is here. The Jaguars face the Houston Texans coming up Sunday at NRG Stadium in Week 1 of the 2021 campaign. We'll hear from head coach Urban Meyer. He spoke with the media today. We'll get his thoughts, early thoughts in the week. He's scheduled to speak again Wednesday. Social media questions have been coming in hot today, and we will get to a bunch of those in the second hour of the show and a quick look around the National Football League as well. Pete Prisco, CBS Sports senior writer, joining us from South Florida. Tony Boselli is in parts unknown. Both are with us now. Pete, good afternoon. What's up?
What's up, JP? It's game week, baby.
It is, finally. Tony, we're ready for regular season football.
Absolutely. Hey, Pete, scoot over to your left a little bit. I mean, honestly. Just go in the center. There you
Here,
go.
let me see if I can lay like you. Do the show.
You going to take a nap, Tony?
There you go,
Tony,
big fella.
why don't you scoot up a little bit so people can see you, and you're not fading into the drapes and behind you.
He's going to disappear by the second hour.
There you go.
We won't
I'm just
see him.
relaxing. It's Labor Day. First of all, isn't Labor Day supposed to be a day off? Who works on Labor Day?
I worked on Labor Day all day.
I worked on Labor Day all day too, Tony. What'd you do?
I worked. That's my point. That's a problem.
Apparently
This
it's
is America.
And here's the other thing in during football season, Labor Day is a work day. The only holidays you get, the only holidays you get in football are Memorial Day and 4th of July. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you think about all the holidays coming up. So we have Labor Day work. Halloween, not a real holiday.
Not a real holiday.
Thanksgiving, working. I'll be in Detroit.
Veterans Day, working.
Veterans Day, working. Christmas Day, be flying to the day after Christmas game, working.
Day after Thanksgiving, a holiday for most people, working.
Yeah.
Day after Christmas, working.
Yeah. There's
New Year's, working.
Yeah, I'll be traveling on New Year's to go to
New Year's Eve,
game.
working.
Yeah.
You don't get it. The only holidays you get are Memorial Day and 4th of July. We're not complaining. It's just the facts.
Well,
You're complaining.
And your favorite holiday, Valentine's Day, Pete, you get it.
That's it. No. Stop. See, what's funny is I could sit here and say, "Oh, that's my favorite holiday," and my wife would know I was lying. She doesn't think it's a great holiday either. My wife might be the only woman in America that doesn't think Valentine's Day is a good holiday.
Well, wow. How about that? It's amazing.
Who's crying over there?
I don't know. Sounds like you. How about, before we get into the Jaguars, we're going to hear from Urban Meyer today coming up. How about the first big college football weekend? Finally, a little something to watch, Pete. I know
Why we even bother with the football season in college football anymore? Seriously. Alabama won it again.
Alabama. I disagree. I think you're overreacting. I don't think Miami's as good as anyone thinks they are.
No, I don't think Miami's that good either, but it's not.
And I think
the same 4 or 5 teams in it every year.
Well, Georgia, I think Georgia can beat them this year.
They're one of the 5.
Yeah, and Clemson might not. They're going to have to run the table now, it sounds like, to get back. Clemson.
But think about it. Georgia, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Alabama. And the rest of you just around for the show.
Watch out for USC this year, buddy.
Watch out for the Sun Devils.
How many times have we done this show? How many years have we done this show? Like 7 years now? Every Labor Day show, I hear the same things.
Of teams that they need to cheat with, then they're never going to win it all. Back in the day, USC won because they got guys like Tony by paying them to go there.
Wow.
I didn't
Oh,
get
my
paid.
goodness. Wow, what an allegation.
I didn't get paid. That's a false
like
allegation.
The Pony Excess Part 2. And, unbelievable. Nice Trans Am, Tony. Funny.
No, but I mean, you know what it is. It is what it is. It's the same. I just don't understand why everybody. Maybe you should have a limit on 5-star guys you could sign.
Well, maybe Nick Saban's just the best coach, and maybe everyone else should get better.
Maybe
Okay.
you should ink some guys to NIL deals in Tempe.
Here you
Pete,
go,
what do you
Nick.
want?
All three of your quarterbacks from the last three of your quarterbacks are all starting on Sunday in the NFL.
That's right.
Come on, Tony. It's not Nick Saban's a great coach, but you got to have players. He has all the players.
That's part of coaching in college football is getting the players. He gets them.
Recruiting.
Yes, that's part of being a great coach.
And you think, look, you're going to get me in trouble here, but you think it's just Nick Saban going into somebody's house and saying, "Come play for me in Alabama."
I think it's that smile of his, and he gets guys to come show up.
How did Oregon get good?
Chip Kelly, nice man.
A bunch of fast players. That's why.
Look, I love the college game. Saturdays, I just sit there. I sat there all day Saturday watching college football, and I thoroughly enjoy it. But in the end, it's not right to have 4 or 5 teams that can win it all, and the rest of them can't.
Well, then everyone else has to get better in
Yeah.
America, Pete. We're not.
Okay, but if you're getting 20 5-star players to go to Alabama and other schools
then
get
guess
2,
what?
how are you going to get better?
Go figure out what they're doing and go copy them and do the same thing.
Just do it.
What are they doing?
What
They
do
have great
do, Pete?
recruiters. What do you want? They're great recruiters, Pete. That's all they are. We'll get back to this conversation, I'm sure, before the evening is over. The Jaguars were back on the practice field today. A.J. Cann, the right guard, was activated from the reserve COVID-19 list for the Jaguars, and outside linebacker and defensive end Aaron Patrick was waived. A little bit of a different feel with a smaller group, according to head coach Urban Meyer, but plenty of work still to be done and some details to be ironed out, of course, as they get ready for this Week 1 game against the Houston Texans. But Meyer said he's confident in the operations side of the organization leading into Week 1.
Because it is different. Obviously, you look out there and you see a much smaller roster. We're still deciding who's going to be inactive the day of the game, those type of things. That's the little bit of anxiety that I have. That's all new to me. But as far as game management, I feel very good about it. I feel very good about our coaching staff, and most importantly, I feel good about the locker room, which is maybe the most important thing in any organization.
So the team is off on Tuesday. They're back on the practice field Wednesday. They'll play the Texans Sunday at 1 o'clock at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. There's some confidence there, it sounds like, Pete.
Well, first, let me say, if he's having a hard time getting used to the smaller roster, it might be because he has more coaches on the practice field than he has players right now. I mean, the staff is bigger. There's more staff members than there are players. So, look, that was going to be an adjustment for him because in college, you have 100,000 players. It's going to be an adjustment for him. And so I understand that. But this is a big week for him because this is for real. And it's not only that, you're going on the road, and the Texans aren't a good team, but you're going on the road, and your quarterback's making his first start on the road. I think that makes it really challenging. And Tony, you go on the road in the NFL, I don't care who you're playing, it's tough.
Yeah, on the road, rookie quarterback. I mean, you look at the last 25 years of starting rookie quarterbacks, kind of first rounders, it's like 4, 21, and 1 in their opening games. Now,
you stole that stat from me off Twitter, Tony. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Talking about it. I was doing my research.
Yeah, you researched my Twitter account. That's great.
No, that's not true.
It's 420 and 1, by the way. You got it wrong. But
Same thing. And the other thing that's interesting, I mean, the good news is, Pete, the Texans are no good. Like, here's a great, this would be interesting for us to do. How many Houston Texans can you actually name?
Well, one thing, though, Tony, they do have a lot of veterans that they signed, the guys that have played a lot of football.
I know, but it's –
Name that Texan. It's a new show on Monday night.
Now, what makes him dangerous is Tyrod Taylor because he can beat you with his feet. He can run around, make plays. I mean, he's one of those more unconventional quarterbacks that it might not always look pretty, but you better get him on the ground because he can make things happen.
Well, they got every old running back in the league.
We'll talk about the Texans more later, but back to the Jaguars. This is a huge week because if you look at the first 4 games, you got the Bengals. You got the Texans, you got the Broncos, you have the Cardinals, and you have the Bengals. This is the most winnable game on your whole schedule. This is the next time you play the Texans. I mean, they are by far arguably the worst team in the NFL. And so And I think there's so much hype from the fan base and from everybody else coming into this game. And I think if you ask the average fan and the average person in Jacksonville, even the average media person, the Jags should beat the Texans. They're better than the Texans. And so if you go up there and don't win, and you start off now, all of a sudden you're 0-1, you got a good Bronco team coming to town with a really good defense. You know, this is what can happen in the NFL. This is why it's so hard. You get on the wrong side of it, it starts going the wrong way. So I think it's a huge opening weekend. Now, I think the Jaguars are the better team. They have the better quarterback. I don't know much about David Culley, the coach of the Texans, but I mean, just from track record, you would say Urban Meyer's a better coach. I think this is one of the few weekends that the Jacksonville Jaguars will have a more talented roster than the team they're playing. And you need to go win the games you're supposed to win.
They got a better quarterback.
Okay, I think they have a better offensive line. They have a better running back.
Left if you went position by position, the left tackle's better in Houston.
Okay, the left guard's
significantly better.
Okay, the left guard's better in Jacksonville. The center's better in Jacksonville. The right guard's better in Jacksonville. And the right tackle in Houston has been a revolving door for the last 20 years. And right. I'll take Jawan Taylor.
But he hasn't shown.
Okay, I'm just saying. We have better running back, better quarterback, better receivers.
Is there better receivers? Is Brandon Cooks is one of the receivers. He's not better than anybody Jackson. What, Brandon Cooks isn't better than any Jaguar receiver right now?
Okay, it's a wash.
Yeah, Chris Conley's over there now, right? Chris Conley is over there.
Okay, let's go to the other side of the ball. They don't have a lot of talent. Jacksonville doesn't have a ton of talent right now on that side of the ball.
I'd take the defensive line over the Texans defensive line.
Debatable.
I'm just saying, okay, my point is, Pete, how often is it going to be even debatable that the Jaguars have a better roster or not this year?
Well, this will be one of the games you could debate it, yes.
Okay, so they need to go win this game. I mean, the Houston Texans are a franchise that are in disarray. They have a franchise quarterback they're spending $30 million, and for the life of me, I don't know why they're not playing him. If he's not on the commissioner's list, why wouldn't you try to go play him and win some football games? It doesn't matter at this point.
They got former Jaguar intern / whatever the hell he did in the building, Jack Easterby running things.
But Pete, why would you play him? I mean,
what? Why would you play him?
Why wouldn't you play with Deshaun Watson right now?
They're afraid they're afraid if he gets hurt, then you're not going to get anything for him. I'd play him.
Yeah, I mean, anyways. So it's long story short, it's a huge weekend opening. And here's the other thing, Pete, you and I have talked about this every year. Opening day, weird stuff happens. Teams that you don't think should win games. You know, it's just, you never know what is going to happen on opening day weekend. Opening day weekend, probably more than in football than any other sport, I don't think means anything because it doesn't, I mean, everything can change. But for a new coach, new quarterback, high expectations, I do think if they don't win, I think the locker room will probably be fine. I think the coaching staff will be fine. I think the fan base in Jacksonville will lose their mind because they are expecting to win this game.
Lock it. Why don't you lock it?
Oh, yeah. Tony, come on.
No, I'm not ready to lock it.
Not yet.
Well, you talked about how dominant the roster was and they have a better quarterback and a better coach. Why would you lock it?
I never said dominant. I don't think dominant ever came out of my mind. No.
The quarterback is better. The coach is better. The roster is better.
Overall,
but he's not going to lock it, Pete. I don't know.
They're on the road. History. First round quarterback.
5 straight.
Not being pretty.
5.
Okay, so we've got an hour 45, Pete, to see if he'll change his mind and lock it.
He won't lock it. There's a reason he's not locking it.
Let me ask you a question. Would you lock it?
Hell no.
So, Pete, we didn't do. Did you go through and pick every game for the whole season
no.
like you did in the past? Oh, why not?
Because I didn't. They just said you didn't have to do it, so I didn't do it. But I would pick this. I was writing my picks for the week this week though, and I picked this game already.
Oh,
who'd you pick?
Hey, let's come back and find out. How about that?
Yeah,
we'll see if Pete will reveal to us who he picked the Jaguars or the Texans in Week 1. Plenty more ahead coming up as well. We'll hear more from Urban Meyer earlier today. Will Trevor Lawrence talk his first NFL start coming up? In the second hour, we've got plenty of social media questions rolling in. Season tickets, single game tickets, and group tickets. Be a part of the new era of Jaguars football and own it. Visit jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We are off and running on Labor Day. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Dreamfinders Homes, homes that fit your lifestyle. And by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Yingling Traditional Lager. The beer for drinkers who know how to tap into their inner eagle and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So fly over the radar. Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We got to be smart as coaches, do what he does well. You know, there's some naturalness to him, some of the things we did Sunday against the Cowboys. We were also aggressive. I like aggressive play calling, and we did. We also added Devin Smith, and you know, who I know personally. He's a legit deep threat. We added Tyron. You know, when Phillip yanked his hamstring, we just really were, and DJ really didn't play at all. We were limited now. There was a time where we just didn't throw the ball down the field, and I felt much better when you had Devin and DJ looked really good today, by the way, and this Tyron guy can really run. So until we get Phillip back, running an offense without exceptional speed outside, I don't know that offense. I don't want to know that offense. I don't want anything to do with that offense. So we have to have speed.
That's Urban Meyer, Jaguars head coach earlier today, and welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick with you, Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco along with us as well today. As we get ready for week one, the Jaguars face the Houston Texans at NRG Stadium this coming Sunday. And glad you're with us and hope you're enjoying this
JP,
Labor Day. Yes,
JP, real quick.
Tony.
He talked about Devin Smith like he's going to be active or he's up and not on the practice squad. He just, if you listen to Urban Meyer in those comments, he talked about three guys. He talked about DJ Chark. He talked about Tyron Johnson, the new kid, new signing from the Los Angeles Chargers, guy who can fly. And then he talked about Devin Smith.
Dorsett.
That's what
Dorset too.
Yeah, Dorsett's got the
Dorset,
hamstring.
he said Dorsett's on the hamstring. He says
Right.
he talked about Devin Smith and Tyron Johnson. And then obviously DJ Chark. Is Devin Smith? The way Urban was just talking, Pete, it sounds like he's either going to be made active, because it's still the expanded practice squad, so you can flex guys up and down.
Right.
But if you flex them up, somebody has to go off. You have to cut somebody. It's not like you're going to go to 54 guys. Did I mishear that, JP? And Pete?
No,
That's
he
what it
did.
sounded like
He
to
did
me.
sound like he was pumping him up.
He did
Yeah.
a little bit.
He can run. There's no doubt. But the guy got injured bad, but he can run.
And
he had one of the biggest deep balls in preseason.
Yeah, it was huge. And he had just shown up a day or so before, and just kind of showed up and ran a go route, and got a 60-yard catch out of it. So,
Look, it's obvious, and people on Twitter got mad at me. Chenault's a good receiver, but he can't run.
Oh, he's not fast.
No, people on Twitter try to tell me he was fast. I'm like, he's not fast.
No.
And Chark times fast, but Chark doesn't play as fast as he times.
I've been told by people who were at the Chargers last year that Tyron Johnson can fly, and he has
Flat out fly.
But he has the start stop like twitchy. He is a fast twitch.
He was timed at 4.37. He was timed at 4.37. Tony, he runs faster than that. Plays faster.
He catches the ball like you hold your breath.
Yeah, I think getting him was big for them. It really is. Because they were in the preseason, everything was like a force field at 10 yards.
Yeah, had to
And
be. And he just explained it.
Surprise
Yeah.
cutting.
Yeah.
It was a surprise cutting by the Chargers because a lot of people thought after last year when he came in because with all the injuries that he would be a guy that would make the roster.
Well, they have another young guy in Guyton they like, and they drafted Josh Palmer out of Tennessee, who they really like. So that's why it was a numbers game. But he will play in this league, and he would be a part of this big part of this team going forward. You can't teach speed. You just can't. And Marvin Jones isn't a burner either.
No.
So when they play with Chark, Chenault, and Marvin Jones, doesn't run very well. He's a good physical player, but he doesn't run. Marvin Jones is getting up in the years, and he was never a burner to begin with. And DJ clocks well, but DJ doesn't play to that time.
Yeah. Well, and DJ's not a in space make you miss, like catch the ball, like, oh my, like watch out because
wiggle, right.
He could be gone.
Right.
He's a straight line guy.
Right. And he doesn't play to his speed, I don't think. But he's a good receiver. He just doesn't play as they don't have somebody who goes, like you said, oh my God, he's going to get by me. They don't have that.
Well, there's certain guys that play, the most famous was Jerry Rice that said he was a high 4-5 guy. Yeah, but for whatever reason, he ran by everybody. No one ever caught him.
And he told me that once. I go, you were a 4-5 guy. He goes, you didn't see anybody ever catch me, did you?
Here's another one. I think Jimmy timed that like high 4.4s, low 4.5s, and there wasn't a defensive back on planet Earth if he caught the ball was going to run him down.
It's how you play the game. It's speed. It's plays. Remember who was it? Michael Clayton and Michael Jenkins came out, I think. And remember they were talking about how Michael Jenkins timed it Michael Jenkins couldn't run. He didn't run at all. He played slow. Remember him from Ohio State, big physical?
Yeah.
He played slow. You got to play fast. And I don't think DJ plays as fast. And now some of that could be for the garbage that was thrown in football for the last couple of years. But, sorry, Jacksonville. I didn't mean to take a shot at Gardner Minshew. God, they get mad about that.
Still?
Even now?
Oh, my God. It's unbelievable.
He's an Eagle. Who cares?
Out the door, I took a couple shots and people got mad at me. They still, again, the perception, and I said this when he got traded, the perception of Gardner Minshew outside of Jacksonville, even with the Jaguar Minshew Mania crowd, is much better than it is inside of Jacksonville because they watched him closely. If you watch him close enough, you realize he can't play.
What were some of the? Tony's like thinking through it. Wait a minute.
I'm not going to talk about Eagles. I'm talking about Jags. I don't talk about guys in the Eagles.
Hey, by the way, we had the teaser before we went to the last commercial timeout.
Yeah.
Pete, you were writing your article about picking Week 1 games. So, would you like to give it to us now, or do we want to build the suspense over 2 hours?
No, I'll give you the pick. I picked the Jaguars to win. Close. Really close. I think the Texans are going to be a pain in the butt for a lot of teams this year.
Is that everyone speaks so highly of David Culley? Is he that good of a coach?
He's a good coach. I don't know David, but I know a lot of people that know him, guys I respect, and they say he's a heck of a coach.
Yeah,
but Tony, again, the roster has a lot of veteran guys on it, and that line won't be as bad as you think it is. I think they're just going to be feisty. They're going to let's put it this way. Guys like that show up and play hard every week. They just do. They might not be talented, but they play hard. So that means they're going to scare some teams before teams figure out a way to beat them.
Well,
and they beat them.
And they got Philip Lindsay. He's a young back who had a great couple years in Denver before he got hurt. And if he's healthy, he's dangerous.
Ingram is a
Mark
physical
Ingram's
back
there.
who can run the ball. David Johnson can catch the ball. Outside, Brandon Cooks is a good player. They got Anthony Miller now who I thought was going to be a really big player, but he didn't really have a great opportunity in Chicago. He can run a little bit. Conley's there. He's not going to scare anybody. But on defense, look, they have Zach Cunningham's a good player.
Very good player.
They have some, down young guys that are going to be decent players. Merciless, can he get anything? And the secondary has issues, but Justin Reed's a good safety. He's a good player on the back end. So they're going to show up and be feisty. They're not good enough to win consistently, but they're going to upset somebody this year, and they're going to be a pain in the butt every week. That's what I see in that team.
Pete, how many? You usually pick the season the whole year, and you didn't do it this year because CBS didn't make you do it. So we now learned that you only did what you were made to do, not what you like to do.
It was my idea originally.
It was too much work. You took the easy way out. With that said, how many wins does this team get? I mean, is Pete the great predictor of all things? How many wins? How many wins are they going to get?
6.
6 wins.
5 or 6. I'd probably lean to 5. 5. And I'll be honest with you. Before watching what happened in the preseason and training camp, I thought it might be more. But the questions that I had are still there. Hey, Levon Jason. I mean, isn't that first and foremost number one? I mean, that was the one.
Well,
Are the tackles good enough?
Yeah.
It's still a question. Speed outside. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Speed, period. I think one thing I do notice when I go back and watch the games, I think the defensive line, the down guys, will be significantly better. They'll be better against the run. They'll be better against the run this year.
No doubt about it. I mean, Hamilton, the one technique, Brown,
Roy Robertson Harris.
And Robertson Harris. I mean, those are 3 good players. I mean, those are 3
and they're
NFL.
Big. They will hold up against the run, and Miles Jack will make a ton of tackles. The question is, can they rush the passer?
Well, that's the thing. Can they get off the field on 3rd down?
Right.
That's
what
you want.
If you're good
can
against the run,
third
though,
down?
Tony,
Yeah.
and you get them in 3rd and long, then you can get off the field a lot of those situations. You should be able to.
You hope so, but you got to get to the quarterback, Pete. If you can't get to the quarterback, now you're going to start blitzing. You better be able to hold up on the back end.
Have they answered at all the question of pass rush at all in the preseason?
No, because Josh, I said it all year. I mean, I'm still a big believer in Josh Allen. I mean, I am. But I saw nothing in camp that made me say, oh, my, this guy is a 13 to 15 sack guy because he just dominates tackles in practice. I didn't see that.
No. And you didn't see anything from Jason.
No, but I don't think he's that type of player. I think I still, for whatever reason, believe Josh Allen's that player, but you got to see it. You got to do it. I think it might be it might be as big a year for anybody as Josh Allen. I mean, I think this is a huge year for Josh Allen because he had the good rookie year, COVID and hurt and everything last year. Did nothing, 1-15, terrible season. What is he? Is he that double-digit guy who you can count on to get to the quarterback? I don't know. I hope so.
He better be.
Yeah.
If he isn't, they have nothing. And the other guys, look, and Smoot are the typical try hard, play hard, tough guys. They get their stuff from their ability to play hard and fight through stuff. They're not athletically what you would want, like you line up and go, oh no, that's not it. But they play tough, physical, hard football. And so they'll fall in, they'll get their 5-6 sacks. But you need a guy that's going to be coming to the line of scrimmage. You go, oh, he's over there. And when they pick Josh Allen, I'm going to say, I'm included in this, by the way. I thought they had that guy. And after the first year, I was convinced they had that guy. But like you said, last year was a bad year for him. And so far in training camp and preseason, he's been nothing. So this is a big year for him, a big game. This is a big game for him.
Let's come back. Plenty more on that thought ahead. When we return, though, we'll get into Trevor Lawrence's regular season debut coming up this Sunday and why history says it may not be as positive as some might hope. We'll get into that, and Tony kind of spilled the stat on that earlier. Check out the official Jaguars Podcast Network, a free subscription on Apple iTunes or Spotify. Of course, we have this program archived right after the show. Jaguars Reporters, the Huddle Up Podcast, and much, much more. Give us that 5-star rating. And it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by TIAA Bank. Turn potential into progress. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
So, it's happy hour. Let's talk whiskey options. Have you tried Citrus Distillers? Have you tried Citrus Distillers Limited Edition 2021 Barrel-Aged Jaguar Whiskey? Did you know it's only available for a limited time and manufactured in Jacksonville? Yes, Jacksonville. I said local whiskey. Try it on the rocks or in a Jack's Whiskey Sour. Citrus Distillers Jaguars Whiskey is available at local liquor stores, restaurants, and the Jaguar Stadium. Drink local, Jacksonville. Find recipes and events at jaguarswhiskey.com.
Scrubbing soon to a location near you. You know and love the Scrubble Stars at the Town Center, Fleming Island, and Atlantic Beach. Now get ready for 4 new locations scrubbing soon this year, featuring Kernan, San Jose, Racetrack Road, and Oakleaf. Give your car the glitz and glam it deserves at the best car wash in town with free car prep, vacuums, window cleaner, and more. You can also catch us at every Jags home game and cool down at the Scrubbies Misting Arch. Drive in to see us now and in the future at our Scrubbing Soon locations. Scrubbles, trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive.
Healthcare coverage for less? Yes. Now, because of the new healthcare stimulus, you can get better benefits, more coverage, and pay less with a Florida Blue plan. Claim your savings today. Visit floridablue.com/getcovered now. Policies have limitations and exclusions. If you already had health insurance in 2021, speak with an agent to find out how changing plans could impact your deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums. Florida Blue and Health Options Incorporated, DBA Florida Blue HMO, are independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. Built for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't built for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
We're being very cautious about that for a lot of reasons. You know, there's a tendency that I'd like to do some stuff with him, but I just zip it usually. But I think, you know, a lot of his, I can't see a direct run called. You know, not many people do that really in NFL, especially with the #1 pick overall. But, you know, his legs are going to be part of the game. You know, they'll naturally and scramble in any replays.
That's Urban Meyer earlier today. And welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco, Labor Day edition of Jaguars Happy Hour. What are you shaking your head at, Pete? What?
Don't run, kid, please. Do not run him. He had enough of that at Clemson and the miscast in that stupid offense.
He said he wouldn't do it. He's not going to do it. You know, they're not going to do much of that.
I guarantee you he holds the ball. I bet you he has 2 read options where he keeps the ball on Sunday.
And I hate that. Hate it. I mean, this is the prototypical stand in the pocket and make throws guy. And they ran him at Clemson.
I'm just telling you, he's a great athlete.
I don't care how good an athlete he is.
That's why you sign other great athletes to do that.
The ball travels a lot faster in the air than it does underneath your right arm. True or false?
But Urban's right that his legs will be a weapon. I'm not saying designed runs, but scrambling, buying time in the pocket.
Like Justin Herbert's leg.
Yeah, by the way, go watch Justin Herbert. He ran some read option.
And now he won't. Now they should.
Well, first of all, you don't get to pick and choose. You just brought up Justin Herbert.
Because he runs. I don't mind him running when you have to run.
Solidifies my point, Pete.
And you run when you have to run.
Hold the ball on read option. You have to run.
You better run quick.
I just hate the read. I just hate it for a quarterback who doesn't need to do it. He doesn't need to do it.
So, not that history will tell us everything that's going to go on this Sunday, but I was curious today.
We've heard this stat already.
Okay, but I'm just going to go through it a little bit more. That because I did all the research today, Pete. I want to pay it off.
Man,
what?
This is a good stat. This is a good stat that Tony stole your thunder.
I know, right?
Typical selfish Boselli.
What are you talking about? I did research today, and I came up with this great stat. Rookie quarterbacks the last 25 years are 4-20-1 in their first start.
That's not the stat at all. It's the #1 overall pick quarterbacks. In the common draft era, there have been 25 of those. So went through with the assistance of Pro Football Reference today, and just seeing what their first start was like. Well, it is 4 wins, 20 losses, and 1 tie. The 4 wins, you got to go all the way back to Jim Plunkett in 1971. He was 6 of 15 in his debut, a couple of touchdowns and interception.
By the way, and he stunk in that for the Patriots. He wasn't a very good quarterback for them, which is why he ended up in Oakland, won 2 Super Bowl.
The John Elway in 1983 was 1 of 8, 14 yards, a 0.0 rating, and was out of the game. They won the football game, though. He got the win officially. Michael Vick in 2001, week 8 of that year, was his first start. He was 4 of 12 for 32 yards and a touchdown, but they won the game against Dallas. And then in 2002, David Carr with the Texans, week 1, 10 of 22 passing, couple of touchdowns, a win over Dallas also. And it hasn't happened since then.
Well, what about Baker Mayfield? Won the first game he started.
No, he did not.
Okay, I was there. Well, he came in relief for Tyrod Taylor, beat the Jets on Thursday Night Football.
I thought you did all this research, Tony. I don't know. Maybe you didn't. I don't know.
I think you're wrong, JP. I think you missed Baker Mayfield.
Nope, that's wrong. Nope.
So basically, of all these guys that won, they didn't put up. It was a different. Some of those guys were in a different era, though. I mean, come on. You threw 16 passes back in the day. You're like, oh my God, they're wide open. I mean, and so it's a different era. But your point's being that most of these guys who were picked then came to bad teams.
That's right. If you're the number one pick, you're not going on the defending champion most times.
No, you're going to bad teams most of the time.
That's right.
Tony's stubborn enough. He's looking up Baker Mayfield right now to see if he's right.
He came in relief against the Jets in his first outing, and they won that game, and then he started the next week against Oakland and lost that game. So there you go.
So put that in your file with everything else you just stole from JP today.
Yeah, exactly. Put that in your notes, Tony. Either way, obviously it's not a precursor to what could happen this week, but it is not the most ideal situation most times for number one overall picks. And is this one different, Pete?
Most guys don't get most guys don't get their start on the road against the worst team in the league either.
Yeah, but I think it's hard.
What's your research say on who those teams played, JP? Go back and who did Plunkett open up against that year?
Plunkett.
Okay, stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I can do that.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is, one thing that is consistent, in that some of it's from an old era, is that none of the guys put up good numbers either. If you go look at the numbers, they were no good. Even Michael Vick and David Carr, they were not great numbers. But the one thing that is, I actually think Trevor Lawrence is going to play well. I think they win the game. I think he has 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and throws for 250 plus yards.
How much?
I think he throws for over 250 yards.
Oh, I thought you said 350.
No, over 250, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and they win the football game.
I think he's going to play well too, and I think they'll win the game. I just think it's going to be tougher than you think it is.
What's a sweet spot? What's a sweet spot for passing attempts for him, guys? I mean, you still want to run the ball and balance it out, right? If you're Urban.
Well, if you get 60, I mean, I'd like to be balanced. Let's say you get 60. Let's say you get 65 plays. So I think anywhere between 30 and 33 attempts.
Yeah.
30 and 33. 30. Yeah, I take 30. I think 35 should be good. Look, the question becomes this too, Tony. Are they going to run the ball? They haven't run the ball at all in the preseason.
Well, I mean, it's the same line you had last year. They ran it pretty good with James Robinson, who will have a new number. He's now no longer 30. So all you fans who bought 30, you got to go buy New Jersey. He's now 25.
Why?
That was his college number.
If I'm not mistaken, if you bought his jersey and there's out there, he's got to buy those back.
I have no idea what the rule is.
He has to pay for them. He has to pay to make up the difference.
So if he changed his number and I bought his jersey, he has to send me a check to give me a
No. He's got to pay whatever inventory is left. He's got to pay back. Let me ask you this though: is he going to look faster in 25? I bet he does.
I think he looked faster in this year. I think he came back in better shape.
He's leaner.
Yeah.
He said he worked on it.
He was going to carry the football more than ETN no matter what happened.
Oh, gosh, yeah. He might be their, outside of Trevor Lawrence, he might be their best player on offense.
You're pretty that's accurate. By the way, how many carries does Carlos Hyde get? That's the question.
Oh, wow, yeah. How are they going to split that up, you think?
I wouldn't split it. I'd give James Robinson 20, 25
carries. I wouldn't give Carlos Hyde the carries they give him.
No.
It takes him 2 months to get to the line of scrimmage nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I think Carlos Hyde's a 4 to 8 carry a game guy.
So, but somebody's got to get. So
James Robinson.
He's going to get 20. Okay, then you think that Hyde will get 5 to 8?
5 to 8. That's where I said 4 to 8, but yeah, 5 to 8.
Who's going to catch the ball out of the backfield? They don't have that guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, James Robinson did it last year. He's going to do it again.
As of right now, guys, obviously they have 3 running backs on the roster. And Urban said today it's something they're still looking at, obviously, to maybe add somebody, or they have a couple guys on the practice squad that they could bring. So
they need a third. They need a guy who could come in and be some sort of.
JP, who's on the practice squad?
Nathan Cottrell and Ogunbowale's on the active roster, and Divino Zigbo is on the practice.
So basically, it's the same guys they had last year, besides Carl.
Yeah, it's the same group that's been in camp, and it's all they just split them up differently. So there are guys.
James Robinson will have a big year for the Jaguars around the football, I think.
A big year. What is a big year, Pete?
1,200 yards.
Yeah, that's what he'll get. That's a good number.
It's a really good number. Let's come.
And we didn't talk about the new tight end they got.
I know. We need to get to that when we come back. We've got plenty of show ahead. We'll get to the tight end position that they have added since we last spoke on this program. Also, Urban Meyer was in Gainesville this past weekend. Second hour coming up, we'll have your social media questions, plenty of them in the hopper for tonight's show. The Daily's play schedule really starting to heat up. Rod Wave, September 9th. Sam Hunt, September 10th. Trippy Red, September 18th. Tony, can I get the couch for Santana on the 21st of September? Make a phone call. 311, September 22nd. Tickets at dailysplace.com. And it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Más Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk, checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk, checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Fans like you have been told that going all out is going too far. But fans like you know better. You're the kind of fan who loves the team as much as your pet, who paints yourself for game days and dyes your pet's fur to match. You are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic, equal parts pet obsessed and diehard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too. The official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I love Gainesville. I love Florida. I wish I had left differently, but that was a deeply personal situation. And But I'll always be respectful to Gators. I'll always be a Gator fan. My former coach is a coach there, and I support them. And shoot, I even pumped up a recruit when he walked by me. So I think I'm allowed to do that. So, yeah, let's go, man. Yeah. I mean, I was jacked. Are you kidding me?
That's Urban Meyer today discussing his weekend in Hogtown. He went to the Gators game on Saturday. And welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. It was notable. He was back.
By the way, what I like about Urban? He's like us, Tony. He doesn't like shaving.
Yeah, he's pretty casual. He likes to just hang out.
I kind of like that.
I'm really interested to see what he's like on the sideline during the game, and when now that it counts, how does he handle? I mean, how does this team handle adversity? Because you know everything's been so good so far, Pete. You know what I mean? Excitement, number 1 overall pick. You got one of the best college coaches in the history of the game of football as your head coach. You're investing a lot of money. There's a ton of energy, and everything's good. And this covering the NFL. It's like that in a lot of camps. Like everyone feels good this time of year. It's like, woohoo! Here we go, baby, Super Bowl. And then reality sets in. And that first game comes and smacks you in the face. And 16 teams are going to wake up Monday morning, some Tuesday morning, a couple on Friday, going, that didn't quite go the way we thought. We have some issues to work out.
And but he did have the stress of the quarterback competition that he already had to deal with. So they had that already. So.
It's a great measuring stick right there.
Aren't you curious how his demeanor and how he handles it? Because
yes,
the last time we saw
trying to lose.
Yeah, the last time we saw Meyer, he just won every game at Ohio State,
and he didn't lose much in Florida.
No, he had one. He had one year.
Here's the other thing: a loss in college football is so much more impactful than a loss in the NFL, which is why you got to turn the page right away. And so how, as a college coach, does he handle that? He's got to become an NFL coach. And I think he's smart enough that he'll figure that out. But I think if they lost on Sunday, I don't think he would handle it very well. Now Tom didn't handle it very well either, but Tom you got to give Tom credit, because once Monday he got all of it out, he moved on to the next one. He figured that out early.
Really? You weren't on the practice field with us. He reminded us.
Well, you needed to get beat up half the time. You needed an attitude adjustment.
I mean, it was the 24-hour rule. Unless Tom didn't like something you were doing on Wednesday, then it became the 72-hour rule. And if he didn't like that, it became the 96-hour rule on Thursday.
No, I get it from that standpoint. I'm talking about here in your head. You know what I mean? You can't walk around all sullen the whole week. Me and Ocean used to try and read Tom all the time and say, oh, he thinks he's winning this week, like the way he acted during the week. You could usually get a good tell on him. But I wonder if Urban's that same kind, where you can get a tell that he put that one behind him and he's already feeling good about this one. Because the look he had on the sideline in New Orleans, oh my gosh. You would have thought he was losing in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter.
It's just going to be fascinating to me. I'm just very curious. Now, I hope we don't find out for a while. I hope we get a win in Houston. I mean, that's a game that I think they should win. I think they are the better team. I agree with you. I think Houston's better than people will give them credit for, because they did add veterans. Tyrod Taylor's a guy who's played quarterback in the NFL. It's not like you have some guy who doesn't know what he's doing. He knows how to win football games. He's beaten this Jaguar team before. So, but it's going to be a fascinating year, because I do think there's going to be more downs than ups. I think overall it'll be an up year, meaning this team will come out of this year going on the right trajectory, the right, feeling good about where we're going as an organization. But I think, the NFL is hard. It's going to be tough this year. And this is the first time Urban Meyer's in this group's ever had to handle it.
He's smart enough. He's been around the game long enough. He'll figure all of it out, I think. I really do believe that. I think he'll figure it out. As far as the losing and everybody in town has to get, and I'm just I think you got to be ready for it. And the reason I say that is everything that's being done this year is about next year. And nobody wants to hear that. And I know you hate when I say that,
because you play it one play at a time, one game at a time.
But everything is about next year, because this year you're not getting to the postseason, and it's about building it to next year. And build the team. If you don't like your team, find more.
I don't know, Pete. One of your competing websites and sports outlets had the Jaguars pick the Jaguars to go 9-8 and be the last wild card team and get a win wild card weekend.
Well, tell the Rocco we need to go back and rework that.
Oh my goodness! Hey, by the way, that's pretty funny. You mentioned Tyrod Taylor has beaten the Jags before, Tony. That was in 2016, by the way. That's 5 seasons ago.
And then he was also part of one of the ugliest playoff games we've ever seen.
Yes, not good.
Crazy.
My point is, he knows how to. I mean, this is a guy who's won. He knows how to win. He's not going to get rattled out there. This is not a guy who's going to get overwhelmed in the situation.
He's just not that. He's just not a great. He's not a great quarterback. He's serviceable, is what he is.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Tony, you mentioned something before, and you'll know this better than me. But when I say that about having veterans show up and play hard and play tough, they know what they do. How big a difference is that when you're playing a veteran-laden team, even if they're not as talented? Does that show up? It seems like
I think early in the year. Now the veteran-laden teams, if it's late in the year and they're, they start looking.
They're thinking about Cancun.
Yeah, but early in the year, I mean, these guys know how to play. I mean, they're professional and they know what they're doing. And everything we talked about this earlier. Everything we've heard about David Cawley, he's a good coach, good motivator, good leader. So I expect them to be ready. And I promise you this. In that locker room, everyone in Houston's been tired of hearing about, oh, this is the worst team. They're terrible. It's a disarray.
Yep.
They have a bunch of guys with pride, and they're going to come out ready to play on Sunday.
All right, guys, let's come back. Second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour coming up. The top news of the day, and we'll get to your social media questions in the second hour. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
The Land Rover Defender story began with the simple thought of creating an exceptionally capable off-road vehicle, becoming the go-anywhere, do-anything all-terrain machine. Today, there's a new Land Rover Defender, the toughest and most advanced Land Rover vehicle ever. From the beginning, Land Rover knew the new Defender was capable of great things. Motor Trend's 2021 SUV of the Year is just the latest example. Test drive the new Land Rover Defender today at Land Rover Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard, or go to LandRoverJacksonville.com. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Titos Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to TitosVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. TitosVodka.com.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville Sports Talk for Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Obviously, they were off 3 days, and they came back with great energy. I'm really proud of them. And then we have another off day tomorrow, but really good work today. It helps when you have your linemen back. You know, everybody should be ready to play Sunday, so that really lifts up practice right there.
Welcome back. It's the second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour on this Monday afternoon, Labor Day, and happy Labor Day to you. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. The Jaguars face the Houston Texans in Week 1 this Sunday at NRG Stadium in Houston. That was the head coach, Urban Meyer, today. Everybody's back. That sounds like good news on the offensive line. The Jags were back to work today on the practice field, getting ready for that Week 1 game. A.J. Cann, part of that group, back today, coming off the reserve COVID-19 list. Urban also said that Trey Herndon won't be available Sunday, but everybody else should be, according to the head coach today. And finally, to regular season football now after a long off-season, camp and preseason. It's just about over, and we're getting ready for this Trevor Lawrence debut in the regular season. Week 1, his first NFL start coming up this Sunday. Tyrod Taylor announced today as the starter for the Houston Texans. And as we mentioned in the first hour, number 1 overall pick quarterbacks have not fared well in their first start historically. 4-20-1 in the common draft era. And Lawrence tries to buck that trend this Sunday against the Texans. Pete?
Yeah, Herbert threw for 311, 1 touchdown and 1 interception in his debut. Would you take that right now?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Take it yesterday. I'd like 2 touchdowns if I can get 2. How about if I give you 30 yards back and give me 1 more touchdown?
So you would take 281, 2-1.
Yeah.
That would be a good day. What if you went for like 304?
Whoa.
A guy named Patrick Mahomes came out. Now it was his second year, but remember that first game he threw like for 350, 5 touchdowns. Something stupid.
They won't throw it around like that, though.
No.
They'll have him running read options.
Well, I mean, offensively, it's not their style. I mean, I don't think Darrell Bevels is creative. Does not have as creative and as much formation and motion, and they definitely don't have the speed that Kansas City did. But Andy Reid is a very creative offense coordinator and does a great job of getting guys in space and creating mismatches.
You think they'll be using more pre-snap movement than they showed in the preseason? They better.
Well, I mean, they basically showed none, I would think.
Well, they did in the last game a little bit.
Yeah, they started showing more, but yeah, I think so. They're going to open it up. I mean, they were as vanilla as they possibly could be. I mean, I think you're going to start seeing some different toppings on the sundae, some sprinkles, some whipped cream, some cherries. I mean, you're going to see everything. I mean, they're going to try to win. I mean, they're going to do everything to win this game, Pete.
What do I see first on Sunday? A zone read with the quarterback, or a bunch of pre-snap motion where they create a kind of a gadget play?
Well, I don't think you'll see a gadget play. I mean,
not a gadget play, but you know what I mean. Like
a jet sweep pass or something kind of thing.
Maybe. Here's what I hope I see. I hope I see an early shot. They need. I would take a shot early and let that right arm loose and just zing one down there and see if he can stretch the defense a little bit.
I agree. I mean, that's what he can do. You saw that last week against Dallas, and it was backups, but he took the shots. He made the throws. Let him do that. Let him play quarterback.
I agree. I hope they do it early.
Clemson had a lot of success with that kid, and he still didn't play the right quarterback.
I hope that they don't try to protect him too much early, and I hope it's not one of these, because if you try to protect him too much, you almost put him in in a more difficult situation. I hope it's not like this run,
pass,
screen,
run,
bubble
pass,
screen,
run pass.
It
infuriates me going back to when I was a kid. Run pass. I remember sitting there. I told Sims that once. I go, my dad used to sit there at the screen and scream, run pass, same garbage. Sims looked at me and goes, we won a Super Bowl that way, didn't we?
Sure.
I go, good point, Phil.
Hey, by the way, some breaking news here, guys. Adam Schefter just a few minutes ago tweeting that former Texans running back Duke Johnson is signing today with the Jaguars practice squad per his agent Drew Rosenhaus. So that might have been what Urban was talking about.
He's a third down back. That's what he is. He can do that. Played receiver. He is a third down back. That's a good move. You need that guy on your roster.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking through the COVID protocols. If he's vaccinated, he'll be able to be ready to go.
Right, but again, he signed him to the practice squad. If he goes on to the active roster, then his salary is guaranteed for the entire season.
So you don't think he's up for Houston?
No. Do you? I would do
that. No, probably not.
I mean, where else are you going to have the issue all year if you don't just go ahead and get it done, right? Or are you that worried about the salary all year long? I mean, what's the concern?
I actually, he doesn't make enough for it to matter, Pete, probably, to be honest with you.
It's guaranteed, though. If he comes in and he does nothing, you get rid of him in 3 weeks, you're paying him $1 million.
Well, I'd be less worried about that right now. But yeah, you're right, though. That's what a lot of teams
Well, he was out there all year.
I just said you're right. That's what a lot of teams will do. My bigger concern going into this game, because I don't consider Agnew a wide receiver. I mean, he's never been a wide receiver. He's been a return specialist at Detroit. Was he a wide receiver, Pete?
He's played wide receiver.
But not very much. He was a
Agnew,
return
not
guy
much.
more than anything.
Yeah, not much at all. It was very few looks his way last year. No.
Yeah. And so my point is saying that you're basically going into the game with 4 receivers. And one of them, the guy you just picked up off, you got
and one of them has a finger injury he's just getting back from.
That's the one thing that shocks me going into this Sunday, that they're that thin at the receiver position.
Somebody's got to be. They got to bring somebody up. But if you can't bring the veterans up, because then they're guaranteed their money.
It's gonna be really interesting. That's one of the things I want to. I mean, you look at it, and I'm just gonna, until I'm proven wrong. Agnew is a return guy to me.
But he can play wide receiver in a pinch.
He's a return guy. Okay, he's a return guy. You're basically going up with 7 skilled positions between your running backs and your receivers.
Agnew, by the way, last year had 20 targets, 13 catches for 89 yards last season. That's when he changed to wide receiver. That's not.
Well, they probably, and I got to go back and watch, but I imagine they threw some quick bubble screens and stuff like that to him.
Right.
That's my point. Going. He's not a receiver.
No, but he could play there in a pinch if he had to.
I could play there in a pinch, Pete.
Well, let's not get crazy now.
I would have been a great move. I would have been a great move tight end.
What?
Gosh.
No, but if you look at the roster, I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, you have this rookie quarterback, and you have 3 backs. They're all very similar. James Robinson being the best, and you have basically 4 receivers. One of them you just got picked up off the.
I agree. It's a weird dynamic. By the way, if you were a move tight end, they would have took one look at you and said, "Okay, we're going to do to you what we did to Jason Peters, because he was a move tight end in college. You know that. He was a monster at Arkansas, and I remember I go, make that guy a left tackle, and they did. That guy, I mean, he became a good player, and he's starting again for the Bears.
39 years old, good for him.
Speaking of tight end, Pete, you mentioned the newest addition at tight end a little earlier, Jacob Hollister, 5th-year player out of Wyoming, 6'4", 239. What does this add to the offense?
He's now their best receiving threat at the position. That's what he is right now. He's their best receiving threat. and he's not great at it. He's good at it. He's okay at it. He had a couple of years where what did he catch 38 balls one year. So and he had in the preseason he had a back injury that limited him a little bit, but he caught a touchdown pass when he came back. I think he becomes a factor in their passing game.
Who'd Seattle keep to get rid of him? Because I thought he was.
No, it was Buffalo.
Oh, he left Seattle and went to Buffalo?
Yeah. But he's a capable receiver in the passing game, Tony.
Well, he is. I mean, is he that much better than O'Shaughnessy? No.
He's a little bit better than O'Shaughnessy.
I think it's a wash.
So when we talk about next year, there's the position you got to fix for next year.
We're not talking.
One of them.
We're not going to the draft.
We are.
We kicked off the season. We're already talking about the draft, Pete.
It's all about next year. Because you know why it's about next year? Because next year's team is going to be a playoff team.
Pete,
can we play opening
Lock
weekend
it.
Pete, it's week 1. Haven't even put the ball on the tee yet for the regular season.
Like, if you're trying to get better at golf and you put the ball on the tee and you know you're going to shoot 110, but you know next year you're going to shoot in the 80s, then you're doing everything to hone your game for next year. So it's all about next year.
That's a terrible analogy, by the way. I mean, just awful. It was awful.
I went from 100 to the 80s in a year.
That doesn't make any sense. You're not talking about the draft right now. Let's go play a game.
I didn't say anything about the draft. The tight end could come in free agency.
Pete, were you playing from the senior tees, by the way, when you did that? Or
no, I should, though.
Okay.
I get a way much better. Oh, JP, you want to go play one day, Mr. Golfer?
Let's go. Let's do it.
That'd be like, I'm not going to say anything.
JP good? JP, are you any good? Because I know Boselli plays golf like 4 or 5 times a week.
Right.
So
That's all he's got to do. That's all he has to do. His name's on the wall and he plays golf. That's all he does.
Do you remember when he missed a show to play golf?
I do.
I never missed a show to play golf.
Part of it.
No, I did not. That was a made-up story by you.
I don't know.
True.
Sources say. Sources
say.
Your sources are wrong.
You were on like the 18th. You were on like the 18th green, and you couldn't get there in time. You were finishing up your round.
Not true.
How many times a week on a good week in the summer do you play golf?
This year I played once a week, maybe. Yeah.
How many golf trips did you go on this year?
I went on 2 golf trips. There was a 3-month period, Pete, that I went on 2 golf trips, and I didn't play golf except for one time in the state in Florida. I didn't play.
Such a lie.
Unbelievable. Come on.
Where you play at Marsh Landing, isn't that where you remember at Marsh Landing? Sawgrass. I guarantee if we checked your bill at Sawgrass and saw how many times you checked in, and then somebody else checked in a couple times and you're checked in.
Right. Somebody's got your member number, Tony, somehow. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Hey, JP, but as far as talking about next year,
yes,
I know they haven't kicked off the ball yet. I get it. But again, you have to be a realist when you look at big picture sometimes. Nobody wants to hear this, but they're not going to be a playoff team this year. And they will be next year. I'm locking 2022 as a playoff year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. How about that? Would you take that? Would you take the lock right now from me? 2022.
And we have to just give up on this year to accept that lock? Is that part of the terms?
That's part of the deal.
I'm not taking it.
You're making a deal with the devil.
No.
The devil's me.
Well, yeah, I'm not doing it.
No, that's accurate. Hey, by the way, I just went back and looked at my USGA handicap. I put every score in. In the last 24 weeks, I've played 20 rounds of golf. Less than once a week.
A couple of times.
No, and that includes golf trips where I played a couple times in a day.
What's your handicap these days?
You look at it right here. Official handicap, USGA. It's not working. 10.1.
So you're shooting 82 consistently then?
No, 10.1 index. I'm probably shooting mid-80s.
You know what else too about the handicap system? When you get an 11 on a hole, oh, I'm only putting my 8 down for my handicap on a
That's
par.
right.
That's all you
That's
can
right.
do.
It's a struggle.
That's not the way the game is scored, though.
Hit it in the water
It is-
3 times. And,
It is. It is by the handicap, Pete. The handicap is not
Okay, but when you're playing with somebody and you get it, and say you had 4 in the water, and you get to the hole and you putt out, what are you saying? Telling everybody you got on the hole?
I'll say I got an 11.
But put me down for an 8.
Put me down for an 8.
No, I got an 11, but I can't put an 11 in for my handicap.
Get to the end of the round and you total up your score. What are you totaling up there? An 11?
I'll say 11, and then I'll say it's adjusted to put in the handicap to whatever the adjustment is.
What's on the card?
I'm telling you what I put in.
He's getting defensive, Pete. He's getting real defensive right now.
Okay, but like if you and your buddies are playing, you're playing a round of golf, and you get to the last hole, and you go, "Oh, you got a 3-stroke lead on me," and then you finish up, and you get a bit. Okay, what are you putting down? Are you putting the 8 down, or are you putting the 11 down?
So the way me and my friends play, we don't play total score. We play hole by hole, so that once you've maxed out your handicap, you just pick up. You're done because we want to play fast.
But you've never kept score the entire round.
We don't. That's not how we play. We play by hole.
But you've done it before. You've played it.
Oh
with
yeah,
other
a long
people.
time. But usually, country club when we're playing, we're trying to play as fast as we possibly
Oh,
can. So if you have
at the country club, we don't play that way.
No, I'm saying,
Mr. Boselli, would you like another cocktail? Thanks.
Yeah, and you're out for 5 hours. I like to get off the course.
Something about the whole system that bothers me is like if you get an 11 on a hole, you got an 11.
I get that, Pete, but we're talking about handicaps. There's a USGA system.
I know, I get it. I play with some guys, and they'll like hit like they'll be like have a 10, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm only going to put down the triple on that because of the USGA." And I go, so we get to the end of the round, the guy goes, "Oh, I shot 97." I go, "No, you didn't. You got a 10 on that hole." Well, my card only says 7 here.
We don't play. It doesn't matter. At the end of it, we play by hole, and whatever score I say at the end is my USGA adjusted.
You're stumbling and stammering.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's
JP.
He's really defensive right now, Pete. I must say. Let's come back in a moment. We'll play Keeping It Real when we come back, and maybe we'll just continue the handicap discussion. That was interesting. Secure the best seats at the best price. Become a Jaguars season ticket member, and do it today. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. This is Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Titos Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to TitosVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. TitosVodka.com.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
You know what you expect at an airport hotel. A bed, a shuttle that's never on time, and if you're lucky, a day-old Danish on your way out the door. But at the Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport, you get a renovated lobby, restaurant, and bar, and 10,000 square feet of luxurious space for memorable family and business events. So stop by, stay a while, and expect to be surprised. Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport. Book online or call 1-877-2-CROWN. That's 1-877-227-6963. Healthcare coverage for less? Yes. Now, because of the new healthcare stimulus, you can get better benefits, more coverage, and pay less with a Florida Blue plan. Claim your savings today. Visit floridablue.com/getcovered now. Policies have limitations and exclusions. If you already had health insurance in 2021, speak with an agent to find out how changing plans could impact your deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums. Florida Blue and Health Options Incorporated, DBA Florida Blue HMO, are independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. Built for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't built for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Need pest control that's safe and actually works? Then look no further than Jaguar's proud partner, Kingfish Pest Control. Kingfish is family-owned and has thousands of 5-star customer reviews for good reason. Their high level of customer care and quality service is off the charts. They're the leaders in pest control technology, using the industry's latest and greatest pest application equipment and products. They'll even email a picture of the technician who'll be coming to your home. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on Labor Day, Monday. My name's JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli along with us. And it's time now for Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients, award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. Well,
did you get yours yet, Boselli?
Yeah, did you get your care package? No care packages yet, huh?
Nope.
You know what it was? They sent it to the studio, and JP took it all.
Well, I mean, if you guys would show up every once in a while, maybe you could get your hands on it. I don't know.
JP, did you
I'll
get
be
some?
there next week.
No, I did not get anything.
No? We need to talk to Robert Mondavi about it.
Let's call. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Your Bob's number?
Well, it's got to be California, some vineyard out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Yeah, probably. So our topic today is not golf handicaps, because I heard the conversation was continuing during the commercial timeout. We'll let that be and leave those conversations private. Rayshon Jenkins solidified as the starter at one of the safety spots, a strong safety spot. But Urban Meyer said today that Andrew Wingard or Andre Cisco could start at free safety. There's still an or there. Who and why? Tony, what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at Pete's reaction. I would start Cisco. I think Rudy Ford's going to get on the field as well. He'll be your dime linebacker. Andrew Wingard is a good special teams player. I would have said, if I was looking at the competition, he's probably the fourth best safety. I could argue Daniel Thomas is better back there as far as a safety, pure safety. But Andrew Wingard, they like him. He's a good special teams player. I still would go Cisco. I think Cisco's a ball.
I don't get it.
Get him reps out there. If he's healthy, he should be starting.
I don't get it at all. I do not get that one bit, other than the fact that you might be scared to put a rookie safety on the field. I wouldn't be. He has range. He's long. He might make a mistake or two, but again, what is Wingard going to bring to you? He's a special teams player. He shouldn't be on the field in defense. It's a terrible decision if they start him. Terrible. You're right. Thomas is better than him too.
Yeah.
I don't get it. What's the rationale behind that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He didn't really dig into it today.
Well, maybe I'll call him up and see what he says.
Was there any follow-up questions? I mean, did the media do their job? And that's
right. Did somebody just say? Did they say, "Oh, we got it"? You're not serious, are you, Urban?
Well, the question was the question. I believe it was from Jamal St. Cyr of Channel 4 today. He said, so Cisco's the starter at free safety, and Urban was like, "No, it's still an or situation. Andrew Wingard and Cisco are listed as or in the depth chart."
Okay, then was there follow-up? Why?
No.
No,
of course not.
JP, why didn't you ask a question? Why don't you follow up?
I'm not tiered. I'm not tiered to be in the press conferences.
What?
There's rules.
Tiered to get in.
There's rules and regulations. That's how it is.
So, but needless to say, that would be like saying, let me see, who is one of your special teams guys from back in the day that's going to start at safety all of a sudden? I mean,
I don't know. Also,
was Monty Glow a good special teams player? You know what I mean? He shouldn't be starting safety. You start a kid. The kid can run. You
ball
start
skills.
the kid and let him. He's got ball skills and he can run.
Well, Winger can run. He's fast. He doesn't have the ball skills that the other kid has.
Yeah, but he doesn't play sideline to sideline like the other kid can play. In Jenkins and Cisco, you'd have a nice 1-2 punch there at the safety spot to build around for next year.
Will you stop talking about next year? Can we get into this week?
But, speaking of all this next year, Tony, we haven't even gone through game by game to have you guys pick yet, and that would put Pete in his place. You'd have to talk about this year.
When are we doing that? When are we going to go through?
We can do that tonight at the very end of the show tonight, if you'd like.
Okay, we'll do that then.
By the way, we cut the roster last week, and we were pretty close. We had a couple wrong, though.
Yeah. Let me keep it real on another topic that you brought up about being tiered, this COVID.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be bigger issues this year with COVID than last year.
Why do you say that?
Because you're seeing breakthrough cases with the people being vaccinated. But I mean, it's safer. I mean, still, please get vaccinated, in my opinion, because you're not seeing the hospitalizations or the God forbid, deaths. Because they're not as strict, JP, as they were last year. Remember last year they were testing every day.
Why are we testing healthy people all the time now?
Hold on. Last year they tested every day, so they got in front of it if anyone got it. Number two, it was you were called out if you were an NFL player and you did not just go home. If you were out in public and socializing, that was just like a big no-no. These guys are living their lives now. I mean, there's not the stigma and the emphasis of guys just going from the facility to home and not socializing and stuff like that. And so you have people out more. You're going to have less testing. And so that if a breakthrough or if an unvaccinated, I guess the unvaccinated are getting tested every day still, but if a breakthrough case comes from a vaccinated player and you don't catch it because you're not testing every day and it starts spreading around, you're going to have issues. That's all I'm saying.
Like Zach Martin's vaccinated.
Perfect example. Look at all the issues the Titans had during the preseason.
Well, but here's the problem with it. Cole Beasley was a 5-day guy because he was close contact with a trainer or equipment guy who was vaccinated and had COVID. So everybody went crazy because Cole Beasley had to sit out for 5 days because he wasn't vaccinated. Right. So look, I'm vaccinated. You're vaccinated. We got vaccinated. Period. We both had COVID. So, but my point on it is, they're testing a lot of healthy people now, and so if there's the virus, I don't know if you know anything about the testing, but the testing cycle's 40 for COVID, 40 cycles. And if you have, I know this because I've done a lot of research on it, but a guy I know did all the work at the Super Bowl.
Some guy I know. Yeah.
He worked with me.
My cousin Vinny.
He did all the work at the Super Bowl, setting up the set everything in the day, like 2 days before. He was there for 4 or 5 days. He tested positive, and the doctor told him on the 37th cycle, which means you don't have enough virus in your nose to transmit, really, you tested positive. So he had to go home. And then he tested again on Monday, and he was negative. The point being is, if they lowered the testing threshold to 20 cycles, we wouldn't see as many positive tests, and there's the problem. So I get it. I know COVID can be nasty. I had it. You had it. We know. But we also know that sometimes healthy people are testing positive, very minute levels, and therefore in the NFL they're yanking them out, and that's going to be an issue. You're right; it probably will be more of an issue this year.
And Tom Brady said it. And I actually, Tom Brady was in the news making some really interesting comments that I agreed with 1,000% about the game of football, but we'll leave that for later. But his point was, he said the same thing. I've been thinking about it for as soon as the protocols came out, I'm like, you know what? This is going to be, you're going to see teams impacted this year. And that's why it was smart for them to keep the 16 player practice squad, expanded roster rules, all that good stuff. Because I think you're going to see issues. I think you're going to see some teams be really impacted. Just read an article today, University of Georgia, Kirby Smart, they're having a bunch of guys. I think they have 4 starters going into next week that are out because of COVID. And these are all vaccinated players. So I think we are far from out of the woods of having to deal with COVID. as far as impacting games on a weekly basis.
All right.
Or if you're vaccinated and you get sick, I mean, you're not sick and you test positive, should you be out of a game and not be able to play? I mean, like I bet you played with the flu back in the day at some point.
Pete, I played games where I was so sick and I could barely breathe and was coughing and sneezing and runny noses, and you just felt terrible and you went and played. This is a different world now. People also used to go to work not feeling good.
Right.
All the time. It's a different world. We live in a different world since COVID. So I'm not even going to try to project what it used to be like, because it's not like that anymore. And it'll be interesting to see how long this goes. I still think at some point, not this year, but some point in the future, I think we, as a culture, you almost have to say, it's like, listen, we're going to live life. You know, we gotta get
college football lived life all weekend. I don't know if you
Holy
saw that.
cow.
Everywhere.
I mean,
Yep.
And then did you see, by the way, the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, was at Clemson. So, of course, people highlighted him being there, saying he was around a lot of people without a mask on and da-da-da-da.
Yeah. There were a bunch of players everywhere doing the same thing, though, by the way.
But but
Tony's point is you eventually got to get back to living life.
Yeah.
And my point, Trevor Lawrence should go do that. He has every right. That wouldn't have happened last year. It would have been you'd been shunned if you'd done it. You'd have been frowned upon. That stuff's going to happen. And I'm saying, and you get a bunch of people out there and a bunch of, especially guys, these are young guys that like to go out, go do things. They should. I'm okay with that. But you increase your chances of getting COVID.
Correct.
All right, guys.
So it's just going to be an interesting year. Just, I thought, you brought up the tiering around the press and everything else, JP, and we're still dealing with it. I mean, I don't get to fly on the team plane for the Jaguar games, which makes life much more difficult. I know everyone really feels sorry for me, but you fly commercial every week. That's harder than flying on the charter, all because of COVID, all because of tiering. So it's the players are dealing with it, coaches are dealing with it, the media deals with it, and it's just we're not out of the woods of this.
All right.
No, and on commercial, you have to have I'm probably doing theirs. You have to have the mask on the whole time.
You do. That's right.
Isn't it great?
Yep.
You know what you do though? Buy a sleeve of Pringles and just eat it one by one. Then you don't have to keep your mask on.
Thanks, Pete, for that. There's always a loophole with Pete Prisco. That apparently was keeping it real. Presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients, award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. We'll take your social questions. There are plenty of them when we come back, and then they'll pick game by game the 2021 Jaguars campaign. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Titos Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to TitosVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. TitosVodka.com.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
At ViStar, we believe in better convenience, so members can bank any way they want, whether it's at a branch, on a mobile device, or at one of more than 20,000 surcharge-free ATMs across North America. Because we believe that people have better things to do with their time. If you believe that convenience is better, join ViStar. Visit ViStarCU.org. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been a leader in direct mail for over a decade. Using the latest technology, Kessler Creative can now reach your ideal audience even more effectively. Choose between a collection of response channels from email and SMS texting to land pages designed to engage and initiate responses with potential customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
Hi folks, Frank Frangie here to tell you where to find the most authentic Southern Pit barbecue in all of Jacksonville. That's right, Bono's. For 72 years, Bono's has been smoking real pit barbecue right here on the First Coast. Smoked for hours, served in minutes, and always cut to order. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at TIAA Bank Field. Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday, Labor Day. Glad you're along with us. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. And coming up this Sunday, of course, the Jaguars are in Houston for Week 1 to face the Houston Texans at NRG Stadium in Houston, 1 o'clock kickoff time. But here at TIAA Bank Field, the New Orleans Saints will host the Green Bay Packers. This game displaced from New Orleans after Hurricane Ida. A 4:25 Eastern Time kickoff this Sunday at the bank. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. That's the best way to purchase tickets, or through the Jaguars ticket office if need be, 904-633-2000. And call the number for the premium seating options as well, suites and the like there. Parking is first come, first served Sunday, $30 per vehicle in the lots outside TIAA Bank Field. That should be interesting. We'll be in the post-game radio show doing phone calls after, hopefully, a Jaguars win when the Packers and Saints kick off 100 feet behind our studio here, outside on the field. So quite a unique experience for folks here in Jacksonville coming up this Sunday.
I wonder how many tickets they've sold.
Don't know yet. Don't know.
That's a good game.
A really, good,
season,
really good game, right?
Hey, what was all? And I never read the article. Like, was it some Jeff Duncan or someone wrote an article taking a shot at the city?
I know Jeff. Yeah, he did. There was a little bit of a shot at the city.
They basically said it was.
I tried to read it, but you had to pay for it. I'm like,
I didn't read it either, but I read some of the excerpts that people took out of it. JP, did you read it?
Yeah, it was basically like saying the Saints did all this research about what was the furthest place to go for Packers fans and the most difficult place to reach by travel, and what is there to do in some of these places, and they ruled out Tampa as a division rival because it's easier to get to, and the flights from Green Bay were cheaper and all that. So there was a lot of that involved. Yeah, it was.
But there
not
was
a good
couple
look.
Little shots about Jacksonville, though.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like basically he said there's not a lot to do there.
The same things that it's nothing new. I mean, we've seen stories like this before. I thought
for the Saints fans, it's an easy drive if you want to go.
If you want to go and if you have the means to get here after what happened in New Orleans.
Right, correct.
Week, yes.
Packers fans show up anywhere all the time.
Because they're not coming from Green Bay. They're just all over the country anyway.
They're just Packers fans all over the place from when they were winning titles.
So that's why I thought the whole thing was probably just a little overblown, looking back at it now. But,
Well, for like the national media loves to take shots and say there's nothing. For a place that people claim there's nothing to do here, I sure love living and find something to do every dang day. I have free time.
Look, Jacksonville is a great city. People don't know what it is. That's all. I mean, the golf courses, the beaches.
We know about the golf courses. We found out today through Tony. Yeah.
Could there be more nightlife? Absolutely. There could be more nightlife. Not that old people like me or Tony.
I was going to say,
impacted by
I'm
that.
good.
All right, let's.
But like Shad's trying to build that thing downtown because when people go to a game, they can go someplace. Right. There's nothing really now.
All right, guys, we got a bunch of social media questions today, so let's try to fly through some of these and start off with question number 1 today. At Angelus771743330. Tony, are you going to put a lock on any game this season?
Yes, just not this one.
No, he doesn't like this one. He doesn't like this one. So, okay, if we go through the schedule, I don't really see a lock on it. Maybe the next time when the Texans come to Jacksonville, maybe.
I'm not going to put a lock. I feel like the Jags are going to win. I was close to locking it, but I said, you know what? I got to get a feel for this team. I got to get a feel for Urban. I got to get a feel for Trevor. Let me get a feel for the team, and then I'll be able to lock it much.
So the only lock made so far on the program is me locking playoffs for next year.
Yes, you locked the playoffs.
Okay, I did.
Oh, well, there's a lock. We heard it.
There it
the
is.
vault is alive. Lock it up.
Oh, gosh, yeah. All right, next.
All right, next question. We're moving along here on social media questions today on Jaguars Happy Hour, and this is at Destin Ray 49. Pete, so when are the Jaguars drafting Kyle Hamilton? Well, if you missed the Florida State Notre Dame game, instant classic last night, Kyle Hamilton had a couple of interceptions, a safety for Notre Dame, and he was obviously a very good player for the Irish coming into the season, but a big game last night. Pete, what do you think?
He's 6'4", 215 pounds, and he made a play last night where he was on the opposite hash and picked off a ball. Now, having said all that, that is not a position you're drafting where the Jaguars will be picking. They have other pressing needs. They have 2 safeties now. What do you need Kyle Hamilton for? Oh, wait, one of them's not starting maybe this week. If your safeties going into next year should be Cisco and Jenkins, period, end of story. And so why would you pick Kyle Hamilton? You don't need to. They have other pressing needs.
No comment. No comment.
No, I'm talking about position-wise.
I don't care. I'm not talking about draft next year before we kick off the game. Kick off the game, and then we'll talk about other things. No, not doing it. Next question. I'll give you a lock. I'll lock something right now. I give the lock of the year. I'm not talking about the draft until at least we get past week 8. No draft till week 8.
Week 8?
Last year you started early. Last year you started early.
We were terrible last year.
I thought the rule of thumb was when the Jaguars were eliminated from postseason contention.
No, he started way before that last year.
Wow.
Lock it. Nothing before week 8's over.
Oh, another lock. That's another lock. That's a double. We got 2 locks. Let's move along. Next question on Jaguars Happy Hour on this Monday afternoon from at P. Sabarolalt. Who scores the first touchdown for the Jags in the 2021 season? I say Chenault.
James Robinson.
Pete?
I'll say James Robinson as well. But if you want me to be contrarian, I'll go DJ Chark.
How long's the run going to be for your Robinson to do it?
3 yards.
3 yards. What'd you say?
3 yards. We both said 3.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay. There you have it. Our next question.
Next question.
Next, we're flying through them. This is Robert Kemp Jr. 1. Over under 600 receiving yards collectively for the tight end group. And is that a reasonable number? Pete?
Under.
Tony?
Under. That's an under. I mean, okay, Manhurts will get you 200, maybe. Are they going to get 400 out of the rest of them? No. Under.
I'm going to go over.
You're going over?
Jacob Holster, O'Shaughnessy, they each have 350. They get 700 between the 2 of them.
Okay, Captain Optimism.
Yeah, teal glasses you're wearing today. I like that. On to the next question on Jaguars Happy Hour on this Labor Day. At Stu_Witters. Guys, as this is Urban Meyer's first regular season game in the league, what do you think is going to be the hardest thing for him to adjust to compared to college football, particularly in those crunch time moments in the fourth quarter of games? Pete, Coach Prisco, tell us.
Well, I think we touched on what I think the toughest thing is. When something goes wrong, how does he respond to it? Not just the game, but in the game. And he's an overseer. He's not a guy that's going to call plays on either side of the ball. So how he responds to mistakes and that kind of thing is what I want to see. And then in the fourth quarter, the clock management is vital, and it's a different clock management. So I think that he's got to be prepared for that as well. But again, how much of that actual stuff is he going to be doing? Because he didn't do a lot of it, even in at Ohio State and at
well, he
Florida.
did the clock management. Yeah, he was calling timeouts, clock management. I think that's the biggest thing. Fourth quarter. I agree with Pete. The game's going to seem like it goes much faster because you don't stop on every first down, especially at the end. And so just that managing the clock, you have the 2-minute warning. You don't have that in college. The good news, he'll have someone in his ear from the booth giving him all the situational and different options of what to do. He'll make the final call. But I think that's the biggest thing. Other than that, I think football will be fine.
All right. Let's move along to another question. We've got a couple left here on Jaguars Happy Hour. This is Ankashi12.
Just don't try. Just go. Go.
Tony, is there a difference in blocking for a rookie versus a seasoned vet? And what can Trevor do to make life easier for his offensive line?
Be good in the pocket. The biggest difference is I'm not worried about a seasoned vet or rookie because there's seasoned vets who are all over the place and terrible in the pocket running around like madmen. What makes it easy for an offensive line is a guy who's good in the pocket. That's why guys like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning are the greatest of all times because they can work the pocket. I mean, you can go down the list of guys who, it's why Patrick Mahomes, frankly, is one of the harder guys to block for, I think, because he's all over the place. Now he's so dang talented, he gets away with it. And, so at the end of the day, it's about winning. And so I'd love to play for Patrick Mahomes, but he'd make your job harder. I mean, I've talked to Schwartz, the right tackle, because you never know where he's going to be. Half the time he's backing up, running around. Now he can fling it with his, right wrist 50, 60 yards so he can get away with it. But be good in the pocket. Step up when you need to. Move. Don't get jumpy. Slight movements will buy you time, and that helps an offensive line.
There's nothing that an offensive lineman hates more, and I know you hated it because Brunell did it to you a couple of times when they bail out of the pocket and drift to your side.
The drift.
And you're pushing a guy out there, and he pushes him right into a sack.
Brunell was notorious for the left slide.
The left slide. That means he was always drifting toward you too.
Oh, just always, constantly. Like, get out of here. Leave me alone. Get away.
Left-hander, that's a natural way to run first. Yeah.
But yeah, just stay in the pocket. The pocket is usually it's the slide.
It's a drift.
Yeah, the pocket is there, and if it's there, navigate the pocket. Don't leave it. That's why Dan Marino couldn't move at all, but he knew how to navigate the damn pocket. Tom Brady doesn't move at all. He knows how to navigate the pocket. Peyton Manning knew how to navigate the pocket. Navigate the pocket. That's the key to playing great quarterback. And I think Lawrence has that. So let him stay there and navigate the pocket.
There you have it. Our social media questions are in. We're back in a moment, and Tony and Pete will pick game by game the Jaguars' wins and losses. And we'll go around the National Football League. We're almost home, and it's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Titos Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to TitosVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. TitosVodka.com.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. Built for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't built for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
It may be football season, but pests are in full force here in Jacksonville. That's why you need Kingfish Pest Control's $99 knockdown treatment. Kingfish Pest Control will safely eliminate spiders, ants, roaches, and more for just $99, backed by their 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned with thousands of A-plus customer reviews. They're hands down the best pest control company in Metro Jacksonville and a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. You expect Jags fans to say, Duval. You expect the Beard Stadium's going to be cold, the dogs will be hot, but what you don't expect is an airport hotel with a renovated, inviting lobby, a cool bar, and crowded restaurant, or 10,000 square feet of space just waiting for your next family or business event. At the Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport, you should always expect to be surprised. Book online or call 1-877-2-CROWN. That's 1-877-227-6963.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back, Jaguars Happy Hour, down the home stretch on Labor Day. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, and Tony Boselli. We did have one more social media question to get to as we wrap up the social media part of the program. It'll lead us to our next topic of conversation. That is the win-loss total. At CF Zellers asking, what do each of you think of our division record at the end of the year? So that leads us, guys, into a game-by-game. It's our tradition, unlike any other on Jaguars Happy Hour, where you two pick the win-loss total before the season. So, who would like to go first? I'll say the games, and then you guys both will say what you think it is. So
I'll answer the social media. Question first. I think the Jags are 3-3 in the division this year.
Okay, Pete.
I don't see that, but no, they'll win 1 or 2 in the division.
6-0. 6-0. Week 1 at Houston. Pete.
Win.
Week 2, home against Denver.
I'm not doing this.
Yes, you are.
Tony, what are you talking about? We do this every year.
Hey, I don't care what the record ends up being when I pick it because it's all about next year anyways. But so, L.
Okay, L for Pete.
Win.
Tony?
Win.
Okay, week 3, home against Arizona.
Loss.
Win.
Week 4, at Cincinnati on a Thursday night.
Win. So Tony has him 3-1.
No, Tony's got him 4-0. 4-0.
4-0.
It's a good first quarter of the season. Home against Tennessee, October 10th.
Loss.
Win.
Home against the Dolphins, but at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Week 6.
Win.
Loss.
Bye week, they'll win that. And then October 31st at Seattle.
L.
Loss.
So you got him 5-1.
He's got him 6-1 right now. And then home against the Bills.
Loss.
Win.
God, you're being so stupid.
Week 10 at Indy.
Loss.
Win.
Week 11, home against the 49ers.
Loss.
Win.
That's an early body clock game for San Francisco. It's a 1 o'clock Eastern time game, Pete.
I don't care if it's at 4:30 in the morning.
I'm done.
Home against the Falcons.
No, play it out.
Home against the Falcons.
That could be a win. I'll give him that one.
Tony, I'm guessing you're going win.
Win.
Week 13 at the LA Rams.
Loss.
Week 14 at the Titans.
Loss. Since they play so well in that building.
Tony, you're doing a loss on that one? Yeah, they haven't won there since Obama was president. So the Texans, week 15.
Win.
At the Jets.
Win.
At the Patriots, Week 17.
Loss.
Win.
And then home against the Colts in Week 18.
Loss.
Win.
So what do you have?
Loss.
What's Tony have them?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 3.
Yeah,
Pete Prisco is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins.
So ask the audience.
12 losses.
At Boselli, who do you think's record will be closer?
Pete, listen, I didn't want to do this. So I don't. If you're asking me if I had to bet my life on it, I think this is a 5-7 win team. I started off before the preseason. I said 6-8. After the preseason camp, I was 4-6. Looking at the roster and what they did, I think they're 5-7 win team. If I'm being honest,
I'm the same way.
All joking aside, I didn't want to pick the games because I don't know which ones they're going to win or lose. And injuries have a lot to do with it. But I think they're a 5-7 win team. And the best news, I think, at the end of this year, everyone's going to be excited because you're like, oh my, we got the quarterback. We're going to put pieces around him. We got the coaching staff. We are ready to go compete.
And next year's coming, so they'll be excited.
Yeah, so I think. So don't tweet that out, JP, please. I'd say 5-7.
I wouldn't do that, of course.
No,
Pete might.
I think what I'm with you though, Tony, is I thought they might win 6-8, maybe push in December, play a meaningful game. And as I watched them through preseason and saw them in camp, and watched how the team, Caleb on Jason didn't do anything, a lot of little things that I needed to see, I moved it down to 5-7. Yeah. And it wouldn't shock me if it was lower, but. Because I gave him a couple wins that I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, here, the thing with me is winning this opening game I think is a big deal. Because you lose this opening game, I think that Denver game's really hard. I think that Denver defense is good.
Yeah, and you lose this opening game, that's all of a sudden a 16-game losing skid for this organization too. The guys that are back.
Well, but
that doesn't carry over though.
And I don't know how good Arizona is, though. But I think Cincinnati's going to be tough.
Arizona's pretty good. Arizona's going to play Tennessee tough this week. You watch.
Well, I think Cincinnati on a Thursday night, it's no easy game with Joe Burrow.
There's not a guaranteed win on the entire schedule, except maybe Houston at home, maybe by then. But again, when you look at these schedules, things change. Quarterbacks get hurt.
Oh, guys get hurt. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You never know.
But it's a building process, and that's why I'm trying to be the voice of reason as the guy who's looking to next year. This year is about building it to next year. You don't want to say that, but that's the reality of it.
No, this year for me is obvious. It's always about wins and losses. That's what matters. That's why you play the game. But with that said, the big picture, it's about one thing for me. Only one thing: development of that quarterback.
Yep.
That's all that matters. That is all that at the end of the year, if he is developed and he is taking the path that we all believe he's going to be, all will be right in the world.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, JP, real quick though.
Yes.
You do realize if the team ripped off a couple upsets and they're at 6-2 at one point, Boselli would be like, I told you.
Play the tape. Play the tape.
I said 14-3.
Play the tape, Joe.
And then we'd have to play the second part of it where he amended it.
Keep those tapes separate, please. Keep them separate.
I love it.
I'll put that out on Twitter. Tony Boselli thinks Jaguars go 14-3. You want me to put that out?
No.
It's already out there. This is streaming right now. What are you talking about? It's already out there.
Listen, I told you I didn't want to do it. I don't like doing that. I think they're a 5-7 win team. And all that matters is quarterback development. That's all that matters.
All right, we've got inside 2 minutes here. Let's go around the league quickly. We'll make the 1 point today. And, Tony, you touched on Tom Brady's comments about how the game and the officiating around the game has maybe changed the game some.
It's an easier game to play today. I'm not saying it's not physical. I'm not saying the guys aren't tough. I will never say that. Tough physical game. It's an easier game to play offensively. And you can take risks that you would have never taken when I played the game. Guys would have got killed if you threw the ball where they throw it nowadays. And it was just a more physical game. It was a different game.
And in the trenches, too.
Yes, the trenches are a little more physical. It's still a great game. It still takes a tough man to play this game. It's just different. This is not old guy. Tom Brady said it perfectly. Go listen to him. I agree with Tom 100%.
I agree.
There you have it. Those were some comments earlier this past week from the GOAT, Tom Brady. What a show it's been today on Labor Day. Who you got tonight, Ole Miss or Louisville, Pete?
It'll be a tight game, but I think Ole Miss will find a way to win the game. They don't have their coach, though. No Lane Kiffin.
And that's a play. He's the play caller. I'm rooting for Ole Miss. I'm leaning on Louisville because no Kiffin calling plays.
Why are you rooting for Ole Miss?
Because I like Lane.
Oh, from when he was a graduate assistant?
He's an FC guy, too.
For a very short time. That's Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco. I'm JP Shadrick. We'll catch you next time. Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.